Yeah, so we
Go
need a
on with
suggestion.
My first time.
My last time.
I'll go with my first time. I like
My
that.
first
It's
time.
really- it's-
You could go so many places.
All the trouble we get in with another tale to spin.
Yesterday was Friday the 13th, and I was looking on my notifications because I get like in the morning like daily notifications all at once for Facebook instead of like throughout the day. And it said that it was this one particular girl's birthday, and I was like, oh no, this was the exact story that I said that I couldn't like ever tell. But since it's like her birthday, maybe I should. But like when I'm doing this, like I have to not use names and stuff. And I have to try not to implicate anyone because it could be really bad for people.
Yeah.
Reputation wise. So let's see. This is the story of Nick's first time doing anything. And this was senior year of high school. And I went to a military school, so everyone like had to wear like uniforms and stuff all the time. It was for like Navy Junior ROTC. One of my friends, we'll call him Jim. His name's not Jim, but we'll call him Jim. His parents were like kind of important people, and he went to the same military school as me, and he was like one of my best friends. And I think it was his birthday. We all went to his nice beach house, like the whole grade. There was like 70 people in my grade, and like the whole grade was invited because everyone was friends with each other pretty much. And we went to this like huge awesome party for like his birthday at this beach house. I think it was when he turned 18 is why it was such a big deal. And while we were there, everyone was just like, you know, having a good time, and we met like some of his family. One of his cousins was this like, I thought like really pretty girl, but like I hadn't seen her before, so I was like, oh, are you like someone else's friend here? Are you like one of his relatives? He's like, I'm Jim's cousin. We were just like playing like Manhunt or something outside, and like I just stopped in the middle of the game and just like talked to her for like probably like a minute or two, like, and that was it, before his little brother came and started chasing me with a knife, like a real like a knife that you would use to cut like steak from like a kitchen. And he just like walked up to me while I was talking to this girl with this knife, and he's like, you better run. I was like, oh no. I probably should have taken it as a warning sign that this was a bad omen, like not to deal with this girl at that point. So I just ran, and Jim and like some other people came and like found him, and his mom got all mad that he was chasing me with a knife. And she was like, I'm so sorry, Nick, that he did that. I was like, it's okay, he's 8. Please don't let him do that again. So fast forward to the end of the year. We have, instead of like proms and stuff, we have naval balls. So like we rent out like a military base, like the dining hall and everything. And it's all fancy. Like the girls can wear dresses or whatever, but the guys have to go in like their special like service uniform that's like for ultra formal occasions.
Looking sharp, boss.
But it was our senior one, so it was a really big deal. So it was like, oh, everyone has to have a date, like, because we have to like escort like the ladies like down the hall or whatever, because it's like really ceremonial and like formal and stuff. You're also allowed to bring like extra people. So like some people had boyfriends or girlfriends from other schools. They're allowed to bring them. For some reason, Jim brought his girlfriend, and he also brought his cousin that I had met at his party. I don't know why. To this day, none of us know why he did that. I think it was because she was really interested and wanted to like go to one of these events, but you can't go unless you're invited like exclusively by someone who goes there. Now, by this point, I was already like set up with somebody just like as friends to just have like to just be an escort for like down the aisle or whatever for this event. My other friend, we'll call him Mark, which isn't his name, but we'll call him Mark. He just went by himself, and he like paraded very proudly, just like arms swinging in the air, like got a bunch of photos. People were cheering at him because he was the only one that went alone. It was great. And then like after the formalities and the lieutenant commanders like made the announcements and stuff saying, we're very proud of you for making it through another year, blah blah blah, whatever, you're graduating, they started playing some music, and it was just nice like lounge music while like the dinners and stuff were coming out. So it was like sit down, like a formal like ball kind of thing. And we wound up at a table with me and Mark and Jim because we were voted the group of best friends for the grade. It's in my yearbook, which is pretty cool. And then Jim's girlfriend, and then 1 or 2 other people we were friends with, and then Jim's cousin that he had also brought. And it was really weird because the whole time Jim was like, I have to keep like a good image. I can't be like out dancing with people. And his girlfriend was just really upset the whole time and complaining that like he wouldn't dance with her. And everyone else, all the other friends were just like talking to each other and having a good time. I went to talk with this other girl at some other table because she was in a grade behind me that like I had been talking to for a while, and she was just like, she just had like a bad day and was like not into it. Like someone like I guess like rejected her or something, and she was just like, I'm not dancing for the whole time. I'm intent on having a bad time at this party. And I'm like, all right, fine, be that way. And I just went back to my friends and I was like, dude, it's gonna be another one of those parties where just nothing happens at all. Oh boy, how wrong I was. So the girl that was Jim's cousin was just also like not looking like she was having a bad time. She looked like she was enjoying herself, but she was looking like kind of bored because she like only knew a couple of people there and was just talking, and like everyone else was out there with like their dates and stuff, dancing and everything. And I was like, as soon as the next slow song came on, I was like in my head, all right, fuck it, I'm a senior, I'm never gonna see any of these people again. I was like, I just pointed at her and I stood up like very like aggressively. I was like, do you want to go like dance? And she was like immediately just shot up and she's like, yes, absolutely. And she just like, we were on opposite sides of the table, so we just like reached arms across the table. I just like took her by like the arm and we just like went into the middle of like the everything, and people were just the whole time just like looking at us like they stopped. They're like, is that like, they call me by my last name, but they're like, is that Nick with a girl? What? Wait, who is that? Is that Jim's cousin? Wait a minute. Because like I said early in the story, I like barely had ever talked to any girl in my life at this point, and I'm like 18 years old, senior in high school, the last like naval ball that my military school is throwing, and like everyone's just shocked, and they're like, all right, yeah, that's cool, and it's just a slow dance. I was like, oh, this is exactly what I wanted. It's so nice. I could end high school on like a good note. I wasn't a total failure. This was great. Oops. The song changes. Instead of being like another slow song in a row, it's like fucking like Lil Jon or some other kind of like crazy party music. And I was just like, oh no, what do? I don't know what to do. Oh no, oh god. And because like people just go straight from like a nice, quiet, like just swaying kind of dance to like just rave music. So I was just like, this is bad. I don't know what to do. This girl just like stops and she looks at me and she just like throws herself around like my waist and like pulls me in really close. I'm like, oh no, what do I do? Oh god. This was bad. And then just like I look around and like everyone else is like doing like, you know, like what you would see at like a rave, like kind of like grindy kind of dancing. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. What's gonna happen? And she turns around and she like just is like grinding up against me and like puts my arms like around her like front. I'm like, this went from 0 to 1,000 in nothing flat. So then yeah, that happened and we were just like going off and dancing like that, and it was fun for like a little while. And then she just like stops and then turns around and then just starts like making out with me out of nowhere. I'm like, I didn't approve of this, but I guess I'm in it to win it now. So I went from, yeah, having never even talked to a girl to like doing this in the middle of the dance floor at a naval ball and having everyone like stop and like just staring at me. And I see a couple people like with their dates also doing this, but like not paying attention to them and just like giving me like a kind of look and like, good job. I'm like, I don't know what's going on while I'm being made out at by this girl for like the rest of the time there. And then like eventually it was a lot of fun and I was like, all right, you know what, I'm good, I just want to clock out. I go back to Jim and Mark and stuff and they're like, we're going over to Jim's house for like, because everyone else goes to like some town, they rent a house, and they're like, I'm not into those crazy parties where like stuff happens and they bring alcohol or whatever. I'm 18. But I get invited to go to Jim's beach house with like our table of like our friends and stuff, and his girlfriend and his cousin. I'm like, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. What's gonna happen? What are they gonna do? They're like, we're just gonna like watch some movies and stuff, and then like, you know, roast marshmallows and go to sleep. I was like, okay, this sounds good. This sounds like it's wholesome family fun. I don't think my heart can take any more than what I've just been through. I haven't finished processing it yet. I may or may not have a girlfriend by the end of the night. So we did that, and they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna roast some marshmallows. There's like 5 or 6 of us there. And they're like, oh no, there's not enough chairs. I guess we'll have to share this chair. So I get this girl, that was his cousin, like sitting on my lap while we're roasting marshmallows. And while like everyone else is talking, our chair's like a little bit out to the side. And like I'm trying to like reach over and roast my marshmallows, and she's not letting me. I'm getting like felt up all over the place, and it's like, it's both great and really uncomfortable at the same time because I'm with a bunch of friends. And then she just starts like kissing my neck and like trying to make out with me while I'm just trying to fucking roast some marshmallows. And it's just like, it's great but also a bad time at the same time. I'm like, I don't have the clearance for this. I'm not rated for this. This is a bad idea. We're at his house. What if this girl's like aunt and his mother shows up? I'm gonna get like arrested for like, and I'm going through all these bad situations in my head that are possibly gonna happen. And like everyone else is just like either not noticing or like politely ignoring us while this is happening, and I have absolutely no control over it. And I didn't learn until like much later that this girl pulls that kind of stuff like very often, and I was just the most recent target. But I was like, you know what, this is a fun time. So then after that, we watched what became one of my favorite movies of all time. It was Vampires Suck. We watched like a couple movies, then we watched that, and then everyone's like, alright, it's getting kind of late, let's like go to bed. And I was like, alright, cool, Jim, are you gonna like, I'll be on this couch, do you want to stay on that couch? And he's like, yeah. Actually, no. Like, he looked at, like, his cousin, he's like, actually, no, I'm gonna go in, like, the guest room. He wound up going back to his room upstairs. Everyone else went in the guest room, like, these other 4 people. And his cousin went up to stay, like, upstairs as well. I guess, like, in his parents' room. Because his parents, like, they got home, and then after they got home, we were like, alright, let's go to bed, this is fine. Oh boy, I have to just mention that this whole time we were watching all these movies, I was, like, this girl was not caring about what was going on, but boy was I trying to keep subtly a blanket over the two of us the entire time, because it was bad. So everyone went either upstairs or in the guest room. I was just like trying my best to just clock out on the couch in the living room. I get woken up in the middle of the night by this girl coming back downstairs and like sprawling on top of me, like, and I wake up to just like boobs in my face. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? And she's like,
what am I doing? Oh my god. Alright, you're good. Clearly I've done my job well.
Just be quiet. I'm like,
you're a ladies' man.
Dude, I had this is Nick with 0 experience. I had never kissed a girl before until that night. I have barely talked to girls.
This is so hot.
And it was like, it's literally like something you would see in like fucking one of those visual novels. It was ridiculous. I'm like, dude, we can't be doing this here. This is not okay. And she's like, shh, no.
Senpai, no.
Yeah, it was like, shut up, just shut up. It's gonna be fine, trust me. Let's see, what happened after that? I'm trying to remember, like, there's a specific order. And I'm like leaving out details just to keep it like able to put on YouTube. Okay, so she sprawls on top of me and she just like she like sits up kind of thing, and she like pulls my arms and like puts them like under her shirt and around her back, and she's like, you could undo this for me. It's hotter when the guy does it. I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Excuse me? Like, this is Nick just trying to sleep and gets woken up by this, mind you. So I'm like, okay, I guess there's like a strap thing that goes around the back here.
Did you not know how to undo a bra?
No, absolutely not. And I was like, what? I was so frustrated because I was probably there for like at least a minute and a half, just being like, what the fucking, how does this attach? What is this? And she's like,
I'm sorry, guys, but in Nick's defense, undoing a bra is fucking hard.
thank you. She was like, she like started laughing, but like quietly. She's like, have you never like done this before? Like, are you having a hard time? And I was literally like, no, that's exactly what. I mean, like, it's,
I like how she was like, it's harder when the guy does it.
Yeah,
Then you take like 20 minutes.
Like take my clothes. Totally no, like take my clothes off for me, like that kind of thing. Meanwhile, like my shirt's off, my pants are already halfway off, and I can't figure out like what this stupid fucking strap is. It's fucking bullshit, man. It was like I was just thinking this whole time, like, man, this is fucking bullshit. I'm not gonna have like anything on by the time I figure this out. What the fuck? So then she's just like, all right, I got this. She's like takes off like the rest of her shirt and just like undoes it, and she's like, okay, now you can do the rest. I'm like, great. How do I do the rest of it? So the first probably like 20 minutes was just me trying to figure this out, and she's like laughing the whole time, and I think she like something along the lines of "Thank God you're so cute" or whatever.
I'll make an exception, just this once.
And I'm just like, you know what? At least I got that going for me. It could have been worse. You know what? At that point, I'd take it because I literally had absolutely zero experience with anything. So I was like, you know what? I'll fucking take it. But it was a fun time, but it was bad, man. It was bad. It was a bad time for little Nick, little wholesome family fun Nick. Also Nick, who had never heard of a visual novel before at that point, just for context.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You were the protagonist before you even knew what they were.
Yeah. So that's how I understand. That's how I understand like protagonists that are like act dense and stuff. Like I was literally like I had no idea what anything was happening. Oh god, it finally like my heart's going like 1,000,000 miles a minute. I'm just like in my head, oh my god, boobs, whoa. And it's like finally like I get all this off, and it's like okay, bra's off, and I'm like I'm gonna do something cool. I just like swing it behind her, and I didn't even think like fuck, we're gonna have to get that later so no one sees it. But I was like, you know what, whatever, it's fine. So then she sits up a kind of bit and like pushes her chest out, and like I vividly remember the only thing that I could think of was like, huh, those are a different shape than the bra made them out to be. I guess they're okay though. I think she was like somewhere in the C-ish range, but I was like, alright, this is fine. I didn't know what I was expecting. So I guess I'm at that point now, so yeah, this is great. So
dude, you went from like first base to like fourth in like
no.
night.
Right, so here's the thing. I skipped second and went straight to third.
Yeah. Home run.
That's the thing. Is I
lucky fucking
first,
you.
You didn't even get that boob grab first.
I didn't.
You just went straight.
I didn't. Because like my pants were already off and her pants were already off, and I was like, all right, I guess this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And she was like, sort of like, all right, yeah, this is what you're supposed to be doing. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do this, and that was how that went.
I mean, I like to imagine that you were just kind of like, Senpai, I'm not ready for this yet.
I was not. But I was also felt like I was about to pass out just from my heart going so fast and like being in that situation to begin with.
And all the blood rushing to your dick.
I was lightheaded. Just to like shorten the rest of it, it was just the rest of the night was just everything happening but like actual like sex. So it was like everything but actually doing that.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And she was like she said like, okay, like we actually can't do that because like I'm on my period. So I was like, great, I'm glad you like. Why
would she come on to you in that situation?
You got both of us to this point and then told me, and she's like, no, it's okay. Yeah, it was a fun time. Nick got to learn the ways of the Force, and it was
who's the dick?
Yeah.
Right in her exhaust port.
Oh man, that's stop, please. God. Oh, I also learned that boobies just taste like skin, and it's okay.
No,
they taste like?
Sherlock.
I had no idea.
No.
What do
I
you
had
think
no
they
idea.
tasted like?
I had never be mindful. I had never kissed a girl at all, like before that point. So like, I floored it. It was 0 to 1,000 in one day. So there's a lot for Nick to try to handle at once, and it was all literally thrust upon me. She just like passes out and like on top of me, she passes out and just like nuzzles against my chest. I'm like, you know what? This is I can call this a win for the day. I am pretty sure nothing was gonna happen. No one else was expecting anything. I learned weeks later, like during the last few days of school, like people were coming up to me and like shaking my hand, and like I was like, what? I'm like famous for something? Like of every grade, not just mine. They're like, yeah, dude, we fucking heard what happened. Like you and like this girl that we're not gonna name. And like
They found the bra on the floor.
No, it's like
Nick became a man.
they were all at like a different city because everyone like who is a partier or whatever goes to like this city, which is most of the grade after the naval ball their senior year, and like they invite some people from other grades if they're cool enough, quote, or whatever, or if they're dating or stuff like that. And they just go like they rent out a house and they have like a crazy time with like alcohol and drinks and whatever. And they're like telling me like how they're like all raising toasts and like doing stuff in my honor, and they're like just talking about like I was the topic of conversation for the entire night because everyone saw me with this girl in the middle of the dance for this naval ball. This one's too, again, they call me by my last name, but I'll just say this one's for Nick, to who would have guessed it? Would have been the craziest out of all of us, and totally is getting it at the moment. Oh man, so I felt like really embarrassed but also really awesome at the same time, and I was like, wow, this is great. Oh man.
My little Nick is all
Yeah,
grown
it
up.
was awesome. The day I woke up, everyone else was gone but Jim and his cousin and his parents and her parents who had come over. I was woken up. Thank God we still had that cover on top of us. I was woken up on the couch with this girl still on top of me, and I was like, why are you still on top of me? What time is it? I look over at the clock. I'm like, oh God, everyone's probably awake. I learned that everyone had already gone home. Jim's mother comes by from the kitchen, and she just stares at me as I'm like barely awake, like half conscious, half asleep. I just look up at her and I say, like, she just is staring at me with her niece on top of me. She probably doesn't know neither of us have any clothes on under these like covers. And she's just like, good morning, Nick. I'm like, in this fucking daze, I'm like, oh, good morning, Mrs. person's name.
Mrs. Magoo.
And she's just like, I don't know what is the best. She's just like, Nick, you know you're welcome over here anytime, right?
Even when you're potentially getting laid on our couch.
She's usually a thumbs up, just
It's the thing that she said to me upon seeing this.
she's the best wingman.
I was like, oh, thank you.
I'm proud of you, son.
Not
Not
Thanks
son.
a lot, Mrs. Name. It's like, I could not believe that was like, and I feel like she had to have been like trying her best not to make a big deal out of it, because this would have been like a fucking scandal. I guarantee it. I guarantee it would have been a scandal had anyone like found out about it. So that's why I'm not naming the people involved. Oh my god. So, Jesus Christ. It was like, I was amazingly floored by that. She walks off, the girl like gets up, she goes and like over, grabs her bra, I vividly remember it, then puts everything back on. She comes over, gives me like a little kiss on the cheek, and like waves to me.
Thanks for the sex, homie.
And I never see her again.
Make me proud.
I never see her again. It was, I got played so hard, but it still made for like one of my favorite stories. And like a really great end to like my high school career. That was the first time Nick did anything, and what I guess you could call Nick's first, but unfortunately not last one-nighter, which is probably a story for another time. So, what do you guys think? That's my misadventure number 1, which I call it an X, but we never dated. It was just first time doing anything.
Troopertroll tale or TrooperTales. I'm
TrooperTale
sorry.
number 1.
TrooperTale #1. I approve.
TrooperTale number 1. I got totally played, but it was a great time.
We're all proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm
A toast
proud
to
that
Nick.
you got that boob.
And also, I hope it's encouragement for anyone else who has also not kissed a girl pretty much until they graduated high school.
That's why your wiener is tingly, kids.